Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. Welcome to the NFL on EA Sports. We've got a good one on tap today, and there's going to be two quarterbacks ready to get it done on the gridiron. It's Roethlisberger's Steelers going up against Deshaun Watson's Texans.
All right, Larry, EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. The scene from a few moments ago, this crowd is cheering on their Texans as they emerge from the locker room, and we're just about ready for football as the Texans get set to match up with the Pittsburgh Steelers. On the return, Fitzgerald, Toussaint. Powers through him. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 20. Five-yard line. Now a play fake here on first down. Rolling to his left. On the left side, it's McDonald. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up second down. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on. And I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
Here's the first carry for Le'Veon Bell. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that second down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Again, it's Bell. Oh, he's got a little daylight. Le'Veon Bell, it's a foot race. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Le'Veon Bell, 65 yards. And the Steelers have taken a first quarter lead. And his kick is good. Boswell on now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. Now a first carry for Lamar Miller. And he goes across the 20 to the 22. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
But we all know the guy carrying the ball is going to get the credit, both in the stat line and probably in the newspaper. But guess what? These guys creating holes, they couldn't feel better about themselves right now. Offensive line, tight end, probably even the wide receivers are involved. They're moving the ball well.
So nothing there. I don't know that that's all in the back, though. You got to look at blocking there, don't you?
I would agree with that totally. At some point, they have to win at the point of attack. Instead, it was the defense getting it done again and holding them to no gain. On offense, the guy that you want to have the best eyes on the field are your quarterbacks, so you can see everything pre-snap, and then, of course, as the play develops. On defense, oftentimes it's the linebacker, and on this play, his eyes took him right to the ball, and he made a nice tackle.
And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. And the Steelers set to take the field. They have to be thrilled with that first drive that got them the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Bell. Space to maneuver at the 40. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. The Steelers able to pick up 18 yards there. Well, they're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you've said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and that'll make it 2nd and 12. They'll run it now out of the gun. And give him about 5 as he gets this up to the 48-yard line. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, it's working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
Oh, yeah!
7 yards remain now on 3rd down. Time running out here on the play clock. Roethlisberger. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there that brings up 4th. So possession 1 ended in 6. Possession 2 likely going to end in a punt.
And that's okay. They just got to get back to what they worked on in the opening drive and continue to make a few adjustments along the way. It won't be exact because the defense will make a few adjustments themselves. Just get back to your game plan.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. So that one will be accepted. The offense staying out. They're going to go on 4th and 2. Oh, and now movement and a whistle, and they may have to rethink their plans on 4th down. They'll break the huddle here and go for it. This is 4th down. They'll try and throw for it here. He's going to fire this thing deep right sideline. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And it'll be a turnover on downs. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's Texans football as we get going in quarter number 2. So the offense needing 4 yards. It's 3rd down. Watson going to give this one to Miller. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled them up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
They keep it with Miller on first down. And he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 to the 34.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Officially, no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. Eluding the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will. Decent gain on the scramble to 6, but now it's 4th.
Well, partner, nothing comes open here, so he decides to escape out of there, and he doesn't pick up a first down, but he does gain additional yardage to set up a possible field goal attempt if they decide to go that route.
And he's going to have a first down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down.
It's 4th and 2, and you know the defense is going to stack the line of scrimmage, so you have to be definite about your decision about where to go.
Now the Steelers put a stop to the action with a timeout defensively. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. A first down carry now for Miller. And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line. Two minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to Houston after this timeout. So the offense looking at a 2nd and 8. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. Again, it's Miller. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. The Texans on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. 10th carry now for Lamar Miller. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. And his kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So good snap, good hold, and that one's right down the middle.
Never in doubt. Just the way you used to hit them, Brandon.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
But really, that was no surprise there. They've been running it well all game, and I know goals change all the time, but any team will take that type of run each and every time.
On second down, Roethlisberger. Open man right side is Smith-Schuster, complete. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. The Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more.
Le'Veon Bell, kiss him goodbye. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Le'Veon Bell with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Steelers are going to add on to their lead. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. Boswell on now to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. They'll run it again with Miller. And some space here. Lamar Miller, 20, 10, and he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Lamar Miller in the final seconds of the first half. And the Texans are able to show off their quick strike ability. Well, this could be a big turnaround. They get the touchdown here in the final moments of the second quarter. And remember, Charles, they're going to get the ball to start quarter number 3 as well.
So what you're saying is if they take the ball down to start the second half and score again, it could change the entire complexion of this game, couldn't it?
Absolutely. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards, as he'll get this only back to the 20. And now out come the Steelers. And you got to think, if this is anything other than just taking a knee, I'd be very surprised.
Yeah, they've got enough to talk about at the half. Why do anything else? Just get out of there.
The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass. And no press coverage here. They are backing off in the secondary. Now a first down carry by Bell. And he's brought down after a good gain. And never mind, Larry. These two teams apparently anxious to get back at it. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. Will Fuller, nobody there to stop him. He's at the 30. Touchdown, Houston. Will Fuller, 105 yards. And the Texans are in for 6. And people still trying to get back to their seats from the concession stand here at the start of the third quarter, and boom, we got points on the board.
And you just identified why the bulk of stadiums have increased presence in the concession areas, right? TVs, loudspeakers, so people can still follow the game. And right now, they're bummed out that they missed that big return to start this half.
They'll run it now out of the gun. He'll take this from the 40 up to the 45 for a gain of 5.
Well, partner, they've been running it well the entire game, and the big guys up front, they're a huge reason why. And now they're reaping the benefits as they continue to open up big holes and gain nice yardage.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one across the 45 up to about the 46-yard line. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a third and about 4 for a first. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. So they jumped on the left side of that line.
And you know, when you're at the end spot, you are like in the starting blocks, waiting for the pistol to fire and go, and he jumped a little bit too early.
After the penalty, it's Bell. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive. And
he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. It's a gain of 7, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1. They'll try and run for it with Bell. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. It'll go as a gain of 6. That well. First carry for James Conner. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I don't care what the emphasis is in the NFL at any given time. Every defense is still going to say their #1 goal every game is stop the run. And right now, they're not doing that, and that really chips away at your confidence.
Again, it's Conner. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down. Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? Looks like the defense in press coverage here. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
But if you're going to have a relay race, you're probably going to pick your backs and receivers to run it. But don't underestimate the conditioning of the offensive line. They're out there just dictating things, staying on the field, and keeping a long drive going.
And the next snap coming inside the red zone here. They'll run it now out of the gun. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And it'll be 3rd and 10 now. The give is to Bell, and they'll get him down right about the 20. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they continue to do so because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
So they come away from this opening drive in the 3rd quarter with only 3, but at least it does draw them back level.
And that has to be job 1. A touchdown certainly would have been nice, but here you get back on even terms, and now you get the rest of the second half to try and get yourselves in front.
And some room to roam now. And he's loose again. The 20, 10, and this will be a touchdown. Will Fuller, 104 yards, and the Texans have taken the lead.
Again, help it, partner. I get fired up. 2 kickoff returns for touchdowns in the same game. This is fun to watch.
Yeah, we call a lot of games at a lot of different places. Sometimes it seems like we do it simultaneously, but we rarely get to see this. This will be taken in at the 1. And he spins through. And some good coverage there by the kick team as they'll bring him down at the 16-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
This one complete, right side to McDonald. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his second catch.
Yeah, and people have to come up with schemes to limit him, and what a lot of teams do, they'll double him, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top. Sometimes they'll just take a corner, maybe their third corner if he's a bigger guy, and put him on a man-to-man to try and limit his touches. Just keep mixing it up, give him different angles, different looks, like a good boxer does.
And they finally get him down, but not before he reaches the 34. So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. Now Roethlisberger on first down. And nearly picked off there, and it would have been a great time for their first pick. Instead, it's second down.
Let's phrase this delicately, okay? Might have had a better option instead of throwing the football into double coverage.
He was blanketed. I was surprised that he went his direction.
Yeah, should have thought maybe about the check down, take the completion, keep moving.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought. Number 4. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big third down. Roethlisberger with a give to Bell. And he will cross the 30 down to the 29-yard line. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up fourth down. Here we go. It's Roethlisberger on fourth down. And he finds McDonald. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. Fourth down, trailing in the fourth quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I looked down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays have been successful throughout the game that have worked at the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
Now Roethlisberger going to hand to Bell. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It's a loss of 2, now third down. On third down, Roethlisberger. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete, certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up fourth down. So on fourth down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the left hash, it's a 36-yard attempt. And the former Rice Al Boswell puts this one through in his return to Houston. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So an interesting call there to take the 3. I guess they're thinking their hands were tied, but in the fourth quarter, that field goal, it really might not help them much at all.
Yeah, I mean, you still need a touchdown. Another field goal does you no good, so it'll be interesting to see what the media reaction is if the score stays where it is.
This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And a good effort on the return there gets them across the 30 to the 33-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
They begin with a run by Miller. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all three still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first timeout. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. As big of a play as we've had in this one so far. This is 3rd and 3. Watson hands this to Foreman. Room here to run. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. A big play there. 61 yards. And the Texans will add on to their lead. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, 2nd down. 2nd and 10. It's Roethlisberger once more. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th. The offense going to stay out there. They've converted once, failed once. What can they do here on 4th down? Here's Roethlisberger to throw. And he's got his man, the tight end, McDonald. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13. First down now, but that clock rolling. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
Give him 2 yards on that play, and it'll make it 2nd down. And right now, defensively, you love that, don't you? I mean, you'll give them that play.
And they'll take it every single time. This is almost like nickeling and diming it downfield, and too much time's going to run off the clock.
Now Roethlisberger. Out left side here to Bryant. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. And before they can run this 3rd down play, we're going to get a timeout. As he'll get it with just a shade under a minute to go in the game. To throw again is Roethlisberger. Now a desperation throw deep down. Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead. As the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in quarter number 4. And now a 1st down following that long gain. Shipped together here from the D-line. Roethlisberger will throw. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Oh, that's got to frustrate him a little bit because they nearly got to him there, and it would have been the first sack of the game. Instead, they're able to influence the release, and they did force the incomplete pass.
Second down here after the incomplete pass. Throwing again, it's Roethlisberger. And they get to him with the pressure as Roethlisberger goes down. Brandon Dunn in there to drop him as the clock continues to roll. So the sack, and now a third and long situation for the Steelers and Ben Roethlisberger. Flushed out right. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow him to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure. Yeah, they let him get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up fourth. The field goal doesn't help. They're going to go for the 6 here on 4th and goal.
Easy.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And that is incomplete. They
Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned in to the NFL on EA Sports. Two teams will need their quarterbacks to step up and lead their offenses on the gridiron today. It's Roethlisberger's Steelers going up against Deshaun Watson's Texans.
All right, we appreciate it, Larry. It's our exclusive coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. They do it big here in Houston, and a second ago it was a Texas-sized welcome for their hometown guys. They're fired up and ready to go as they get set to match up with the Pittsburgh Steelers. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. On the ground, this is Lamar Miller. Up past the 25 to the 26, a gain of 5.
Well, they certainly got dented with that first down run, so now they've got to be back on their heels a little bit as a defense.
On second down, here's Miller. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's third down.
Let's just go ahead and go back through that play with his eyes, because he's got to read his keys. Run or pass right off the top. You're probably going to read an offensive lineman to see if he sets up in pass protection, if he fires out for a running play. The next thing is you're going to check and see what the back's going to do. And if he ends up with the football, okay, now you got to check and see. Does an offensive lineman come downfield and try and block you? Are you going to try to elude him? Are you going to take him on and hold your spot? What are you going to do? In this case, didn't have to do any of that. Saw all of his keys, saw the play in front of him, and ran clean to the ball carrier and finished off the play.
They'll run it here. This is Deontay Foreman. Some tough running, but it only gets him to the 45. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
I once had a defensive player in the NFL tell me, if I beat and dominate the guy across from me, I'm helping my team. Well, winning one-on-one battles is always a part of the game, but when you have good team defense, as we just saw there, one broken tackle, but he didn't get away because the rest of the guys arrived to put him on the ground.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Miller. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield after a gain of about 4. They'll try to run for it with Miller. And he will have the first down as he gets this to the 47. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
On third down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
They'll run with Foreman. And he's going to be stopped dead in his tracks at the 32-yard line. 15 yards, the Texans pick up the first down.
You don't have to be a finished product to show some pretty good glimpses of what could be in this league, and we just saw an example of it on that nice run there. When I looked at him coming out of college, I saw a guy with raw, terrific ability. I couldn't wait to see how it was going to be harnessed and polished up in the NFL. In fact, some people thought he could play a little slot receiver as well as run the football. This guy has the ability to be a big-time player with more seasoning.
Now it's Miller running right. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
Stephon Tuitt came out of Notre Dame as another one of those really tall defensive ends, and you just wondered, would they be able to have the leverage to bend and make plays? I think he just gave us an answer with that tackle.
Give him 9 on the carry, but it's not enough, and it'll be 4th down. Here we go on fourth. Watson escaping the pressure right. He's going to go up top for the end zone. And this is going to be incomplete. Bill O'Brien rolls the dice, but to no avail. And on the opening drive of the afternoon, the defense forces a turnover on downs. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Now the first carry for Le'Veon Bell. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down.
Whether it's what we call an even front or an odd front, and an odd front's real easy to figure out. If that guy is lined up over the nose of the center, typically that's an odd front defense. Odd number of people, meaning 3-4 versus the 4-3, which is an even front. You've got to control those guys in the middle. Whether it's the nose or the two defensive tackles in a four-man front, if those guys can't get moved, you cannot run the ball in the middle of the field. And in that play, they were able to actually...
Back with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's Steeler football to begin quarter number 2, and they've got it here with a first down. And they'll keep it on the ground with Bell. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
And that's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
And when you're running the football, one thing you don't want to see is a big boy coming up there to swallow you whole in those D tackles and nose tackles.
No, you're actually counting on your big boys to protect you from them. But on that play, the defensive tackle had the leverage, and he won the battle. No gain, correct?
No gain.
I know they want to go for it here, and I know that their fans want them to go for it. But, listen, I'm going to play head coach right here and look at the facts. Tie game, plus, even if you get the first, you still got a half a field to go. I'll go ahead and punt the football myself.
Here we go on 4th down with Roethlisberger. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And that will force a turnover on downs. Running left is Miller. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
I Cameron Hayward's ability to take on blocks, hold the point of attack, and get upfield serves him very, very well. What a nice play there.
Yeah, he can take on blocks because he's built like a block. And he gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5. Here's Foreman. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a 4th down. Now the Steelers. A gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. And it's now 3-0 Texans. So a good kick there, and they wrap up the drive by putting 3 on the board.
And, you know, let's face it, you're not always going to come away with 6. Defense in the NFL are just too good. But you've got to come away with something. And there, they get 3.
And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And last time we saw them go for it in kind of an unusual situation. It's not like it's a fourth quarter do or die. They went for it, didn't get it. We'll see how that affects them this go-around.
Partner, I'm wondering if we're starting to see the effects of
Martavis Bryant. And he'll be down deep in Houston territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 68 yards. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We're back to Houston after this timeout. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. They'll send Brown in motion right. Now Bell. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. And now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. They'll try again with Bell. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Le'Veon Bell, a 9-yard touchdown run. And the Steelers are able to strike for 6.
And we know they won't get their names in the stat sheet, but the offensive line has to get all the credit for that touchdown run. Tremendous job of blocking, paving the way for the 6 points.
Chris Boswell now for the extra point. And this is up and good to make it 7-3. Boswell on now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 20. And up to the 27-yard line.
Let's go! What? Ohio!
A handoff running left is Miller. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Watson trying to get his guys moving.
They held him to a short gain on that one, and it almost felt like on that first run, they were trying to just throw the jab at him. So how do you stop the jab? Get closer and smother it, just as they did on that last play.
On third down, Miller. Call it a gain of 4, but not enough. The punt team going to need to be summoned here on fourth down.
Nice job there defensively on third down. Not only did they string the play out, but they didn't allow any room for a cutback. Really well organized on the defensive side.
They'll run for it. This is Foreman. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and they're able to convert here on 4th and inches.
4th and inches, does he get the first? You bet he does. He knows exactly where he needs to be, and he's going to fight his way forward to get a couple of yards and ensure he keeps the chains moving. One thing rookies need to learn at this level, and quick, make a cut, be decisive, and go. Because in college, you could dance around and wait for a hole to open because you're probably a better athlete than most of the guys on the field, but not on the NFL level.
Watson going to give this one to Miller, and he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14. Now it's Watson, a bootleg. And he's got it over the middle. Fedorowicz. 15 yards. The Texans pick up the first down.
I I don't know whether I want to be a fly on the wall or not when they hear the explanation of how he, one of the bigger targets on the field, the tight end could be that wide open and uncovered downfield. Who blew that assignment?
Somebody did.
No doubt about it. There's no way you're not going to account for him.
From the 50, it's Watson. He's going to air one out. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. A big play there just before halftime. 46 yards. And Larry apparently very brief in his report. Thanks anyway, my man, as we're already set for action. This will be taken in at the 1. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
See if they do just that. The second half starts with a carry by Bell. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. So a loss of 5, and it'll be second down. In motion left here, one of their tight ends. They'll send the big tight end in motion right. On second down, it's Bell. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a third down.
In today's NFL, when you get teams in long yardage situations with your defense, you're really going to go to your speed packages. You're going to get smaller, lighter guys on the field in order to cover the expected pass. So they might want to run the ball against a smaller, lighter lineup with your big guys, and that's exactly what happened on that play. It was tough on them, and now instead of being in third and very long, they ended up setting themselves up in third and manageable. They've got a chance at a first down.
In motion left here, Antonio Brown. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
J.J. Watt makes another tackle there, and it's for a minimal gain. And let's face it, if that's all you're going to get running the ball, you're not going to have much success against him and his team.
Well, yeah, you better find a way to go around J.J. Watt, which isn't easy to do.
It's really not, because you got to try everything. Can you go around him? Can you go by him? Can you influence him to get him out of position so maybe you can wall him off? He's a really sharp, intelligent player, as well as a physical specimen.
A good pickup there, 26 yards. Play clock winding down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
It's real easy to say this running game needs to be better, but the reality is they've been given little time to actually find a place to run the football. It's almost like the defense is there on the handoff.
They snap it at 1. Now it's Roethlisberger. Steps away to his left. Trying here for Bryant, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jonathan Joseph. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
You got to know as a quarterback that's going to be tough to outthink this guy in the defensive backfield. He's been at it 11 years now, so he knows all the ins and outs of the position, and he's in the right spot there to come up with the interception.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. And heavy contact. He is knocked down hard at the 12-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. Off the bootleg, Watson. Being chased out left. Now he'll let it go deep down the left sideline. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up third.
Credit the secondary and credit the defensive game plan. They've been in his hip pocket all game long. They understood coming in that he was a big-time receiver.
The Texans on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is third down and 12. Flush to his right. And finding Fedorowicz. And he gets this one up just shy of the 35 to the 34. They convert on third with a gain of 22. It's Texans football, but they trail here as we get started in the fourth quarter. Fresh set of downs here. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. A first down carry now for Miller. Not much there. Maybe a couple up to the 35. And the trend continues here in the fourth like it was in the first, second, and third. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is third and long. Play action from Miller. Now Watson. Dancing to his left. And this one complete to Will Fuller. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. They do get 9, but it leads to fourth down.
Everyone has their strengths, able to move to their right or their left, being able to throw the football. So that means you've got to work on both because you never know which way you're going to get flushed by pressure. In this situation, able to escape to his left and makes an accurate throw.
Desperation time. Watson on fourth down. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first.
As a defender, I always found the slant route extremely difficult to cover unless you're able to jump on top of it early, because once he gets his hands on the ball, he's at full speed going away from it.
It all happens in the blink of an eye, doesn't it?
It really does. The timing is so important. That ball's got to be out of the hands of the quarterback and to the receiver like that. And if it is, you often get a very successful play.
They run again with Foreman. No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
Oh, partner, that play brought back memories. Watching them string it out, letting the runner get all the way to the sideline area, but not letting him get out of bounds. They formed that picket fence and didn't allow him through.
Not only that, got him for a loss as well here. And one of the reasons they lead in the fourth quarter, plays like that.
Yeah, it took a little more time off the clock, making him do it that way, didn't it?
And that is incomplete. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Here we go! Ohio! Flex round!
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked up by the former first-rounder Artie Burns. Past the 20. And he brings this one